Okay, so this is my prep session for run 4 of the game Rigged. So in previous sessions, I've managed to save the 6 and the 9 of clubs because I'm playing the additional rules that myself and Spencer from Geiler RPG produced, that turns these solo games into potentially a PvP. We can attack each other or mess with the fate of a fellow solo player. So it's kind of solo, but also multiplayer. So I'm building an attack here, and because I'm playing Rigged, and I know Spencer is playing Weaver, the game I produced in response to this game. I read Spencer's game and enjoyed the cyberpunk world he'd created so much. I thought, wouldn't it be great to play a game that was opposite to his? His is all about hacking Atlas Corp. So I produced a game called Weaver that investigates what's actually happened in Atlas Corp in response to all these hacks. So we're playing these parallel, so I'm building an extra special hack here in my imagination. Anyway, that's how I imagine I'm going to use this attack. It's a hack I'm producing to take down Atlas Corp, or in particular, because in previous episodes of this, last episode, I fell for a trap that the director of security over at Atlas Corp had laid for me. So, and I was clearly in agony from the countermeasures that were directed at me. So I think my hacker is going to be pretty peed off now, and has got it in for the director of security over there. So he's plotting an extra special hack just for him. So let's get on with today's session. So we roll the dice as normal, see how many cards I'm going to draw today, and it's 4 again. Knock the globe there. Not going to get 4 back now, am I? There we go, 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's begin. Let's see what we've got today. Flip that. 6 of diamonds. What do diamonds represent in Rigged? Let's have a look. Diamonds represent your rig, the only chance in hell you have of getting what you need. When you draw a diamond, you are tinkering with your rig, repairing and upgrading it, and testing its limits while keeping your brain at a comfortable temperature, hopefully. So let's see what 6 of diamonds has in store for my hacker. Oh, well, I've got a pull from the tower. It says, this rig has 1 attack program and 1 defense program that truly makes it unique. Describe them and pull from the tower. Well, let's do the pull from the tower first. Oh, look at that. Nice and easy one there. It has 1 attack program and 1 defense program that truly makes it unique. Oh gosh, what could that be? The attack program. Something special that my character's really proud of and created himself. You know what? There's another game I've produced called Hacks in the Dark, which was a hack of Sigils in the Dark by Kurt Potts, and in that you produce hacks and design hacks in there. It's like a solo journaling game, but with drawing mixed in. You kind of design your hacks, and it inspires you to think about what these hacks might do. And there's one that I produced in one of the games that I've played of Hacks in the Dark, was called The Catfish, and it was it takes advantage of lonely hearts. So this hack is posted on like a dating site, and when someone clicks on this attractive picture, that deploys the hack. And if I remember rightly, targets their cryptocurrency accounts and starts filtering some of it off into my account. So I think that's what I'm going to use here. So it's called the catfish. So what could my defense be? So that's my unique attack that I'm proud of, the catfish. But what defense could I have? I'm thinking like some kind of maybe I've designed this since the last so nearly got my brain fried, so I need some kind of defense to try and stop that again. And maybe something very simple, like just a safe word. I've got a shout, almost like talking to Google or Alexa or something like that. And maybe I've rigged up a system that I can just shout a safe word and it cuts the feed or something like that. That's my defense. But that might not work if I'm screaming in agony. I need to have a think about that one. I'm not sure about that one. I need to think a bit more to come up with something for the log. So anyway, that was the 6 of diamonds. We've got 3 more cards to go. Oh, actually, I better keep these to a side because I might keep one of those. Now I've potentially got a pair, but I really want to go for that flush because in my choices of attacks that I could do against Kurt, so I could send him a pair already if I keep the 6 from today's run. So next time you pull or add a block, take 2 instead, so he would have to pull 2 blocks, but I'm really tempted. If I get a club today, I'll keep the club, but otherwise I might keep that 6. But anyway, let's deal with the 6 of spades. Now spades represent the many debts you have accumulated over the course of your life. When you draw a spade, you are reflecting on how you got here, dodging collectors, trying to put together enough to get by, and generally dealing with the fact that the game is rigged. 6 of spades is... You actually acted as the loaner instead of the borrower one time. Who did you loan to and why? What did they need from you? So something that I've mentioned a couple of times is about the first run that I did and what a failure that was and how all the kit let me down. And perhaps this might be one of the good deeds that I've kind of done, maybe loaned. So instead of loaning someone money, maybe I loan them some kit. Because like anything, if anyone who's built their own computers and things like that, you've always got kit left over when you upgrade and stuff like that. I've got loads of bits and pieces left over that I could probably build a PC out of, and I've done that kind of thing before. Maybe sold them on eBay or on a local notice board or something like that, and built a PC out of spare bits. So maybe that's what my hacker has done here, a good deed, taken a young upcoming hacker under his wing, and didn't, because I got manipulated and into a lot of debt by someone thinking they were my friend and wanting to improve my kit, so they were loaning me money and getting me into debt. So maybe I've learned from that and took a fellow young hacker under my wing and loaned him some equipment. What did they need from you? Yes, they were building their own rig, so I loaned them some spare parts from my rig. I don't need to pull from the deck for that one. Let's keep that there. Eight of clubs. So look at that as well. 6, 8, 9. I could be on for a straight flush. What does a straight flush get? what can I attack with that? So a flush would get me flick your next block instead of pulling it. So Spencer would have to flick a block out. So if I can get a flush, he'd have to flick it. But what about a straight flush? Goodness me. Roll d6 and add that many tokens onto the Ace of Hearts. So I need to keep an eye on his daily logs, and if he gets the Ace of Hearts out. So in this game, if you draw the Ace of Hearts, you have to put 10 tokens on it. And there are certain situations when you can pull those tokens off, and if you do so, if you pull all 10, it usually means in lots of Wretched and Alone games that you've reached safety or you've been rescued in some way. So having to add d6 more of them would really mess with his day, but I do also like the idea of him having to flick a block out. So that's interesting. Anyway, let's do the 8 of clubs. Atlas is obviously your biggest job ever. Compared to them, everything else seems trivial. What job is at least somewhat similar to this one? What lessons can you apply from the past to the present? Oh, what a brilliant prompt. So I think I'm going to put that one up there, unless the 7 comes out. But that's perfect, really. That. What job was similar to this one? Well, I've mentioned previously that I've done a run on Atlas before, and left a friend behind, or at least I took revenge on a friend that had manipulated me. I've also hinted about a pharmaceutical company that I took on once. So maybe I could talk further about that one, and how that's similar. What job is at least somewhat similar to this one? What lessons can you apply from the past to the present? So what lesson did I learn from that pharmaceutical job on this one? Probably go prepared, which I probably forgot that lesson the other day when the hacker fell into that trap the Director of Security had left for them with that fake expenses. So yeah, maybe I could talk about that, how in the pharmaceutical one I'd spotted the trap of something too good to be true, to something too juicy, something too good, but in my hatred of Atlas the other day, I forgot that and was nearly paid the penalty for that. And then the 3 of clubs, but I think I'll keep the 8 because I'm close to getting a straight flush. 3 of clubs. It turns out a lot of people you've hit before on runs are all connected back to Atlas, and they've been aggregating that data. What are 2 runs you did that you thought were completely unrelated but now realise are linked? Pull from the tower. Oh, that one's loose. What are 2 runs you did that you thought were completely unrelated but now realise are linked? So I can roleplay this kind of little dive back into Atlas Corp. Maybe, yeah, so that can link to the previous card. So maybe in my log I can be talking about the pharmaceutical job that I did, and maybe how that led on to another hack of a fellow sister company of that pharmaceutical company. And while I'm rummaging around in Atlas today, I find files on both those. And what would be even more creepy is that my name is attached, or my hacker's name is attached to those files as well, so Atlas know that I hacked those two pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, look at that. It's just again 4 cards, and already my role-playing hacker story is developing so well. I love this game. Love this mechanic of being able to spark your imagination. Okay, so look at that, Spencer, if you're watching, I'm coming for you. So if you're interested in playing Rigged or Weaver or Hacks in the Dark that I mentioned earlier, I'll put the links to all those in the description below. But I think I will end that video here and move on to my log.